Hi and welcome. It's Kristen from Life for Crafting, and I'm into day 3 now of being on my week away. And between last night and this morning, it's kind of dinner time, so I guess through today I made this card here. It was on Jan Musselman's Pinterest. It was. I think she's got it on her blog, but I was interested in making this card because, again, I haven't gotten into the main sheets of the paper because I guess they were like the first thing I packed and I guess the last thing out of the car. So I'm doing what I have here, and that's this paper here, and I used a different scrap, but I picked this one just like I said because I had a lot of the 2-inch scraps left over after the cards I made. So I kind of switched this up. I had the scrap here that was left. And the thing that I kind of wanted to show you is I went on, because I couldn't figure out what this piece here was. And it was something in the Ornate Layers, I believe, die set from Stampin' Up. And at the time, I just did my Stampin' Up order and I wasn't going to do another one. And I went on and I found something on AliExpress that was close to it. But here's what wound up happening. I needed this to fall, as you can see from her example. This, I'm assuming, is a regular A2 size card, but I needed it to fall on there. And when I bought the die, this is one of the first I've bought that doesn't really kind of fit how I expected. This was the size of the die that arrived. The other thing is that the Stampin' Up equivalent to this does not have a cutting edge in here. It had the scalloped on the edge, but it did not have the cutting in here. So I had to make some adjustments. And as you can see, this is the size of what I needed. This is the size of what that AliExpress die fits. Way bigger than the A2. It's actually the full size. Could I have gone the full size? Yes, but I wanted it. I liked the borders and everything that she had. So as you can see, this is the size, and I want to say that's a good 1/2 inch difference. So how I was able to, excuse my reaches, how I was able to do this was I cut these down to the size I needed. And I believe, of course my glue doesn't want to cooperate. It's always the way. Yeah, okay. Let's see, as we're, doing this live, it's always the way. I put this down in the length that I wanted, and I think this was a 4 3/4 length, and the brown is a 4 7/8 length. So I put that down, and how I was able to do this was I cut the frame in half. I then just glued one of these borders on, and you'll see that I cover my seams up using these cookies and the sentiment. So if you line up, I didn't want any kind of gap, so I just really kind of glued this right to the edge, so you get a little bit of a seam that shows on there, but I kind of liked it, and it gave it another little element that, wasn't planned, but you gotta roll with it. So then I just glued this. Could I have made one end shorter? Yeah, but you know what? I made a total of 34 of these cards. Including the sample, it would be 35. I wasn't going to sit here and try and get them all matched up. That was enough. So I just used my cookies, are random. You will need one. I mean, you could put a ribbon on pretty much any 4 that were in there, but I kind of tried to keep it to the ornament or the bell, but I used this one right here's the first seam to cover up that seam. the sentiment. This was from the pill box. I made this with just regular heavyweight cardstock from Hobby Lobby. Very, very difficult. I did heat embossing with white Stampin' Up! Embossing powder, and it's just a very coarse or rough surface paper, and I really had to use the Stampin' Up! Stamparatus thing multiple times. And the best way to do that was I took a piece of paper, I cut this out, and then used that negative to fit these in, because if not, they want to slide around, or, you know, when I'm doing 34 of these to get the same alignment to use the stamp. So, you know, that was one of the best things. So I did the white embossing, and then this around the edge was the Tulip glossy fabric paint that's puffy. And then I just used what was the old diamond dust from Stampin' Up! That I have a lot of. And I had all of these prepped as far as, you know, the paint and the glitter and all that. And I had them in just a regular old sandwich bag. And if you watched my video from yesterday, I used what was the loose glitter in the bottom of that bag to do my video yesterday, because I wanted to have some glitter and I didn't have any more with me. So I use this now on this seam to hide it, and that's how I hide that. And then just a grosgrain, I believe is how you say this. I just did a regular grosgrain bow on the end, used my stamping tweezers to adhere that down, and that was that card. So this was my third card for the third day. I'll be venturing into a new card, and if I can get them finished tonight, I will put another video up. So I hope you enjoyed my card, and again, I really enjoyed doing this card. I'm really appreciative to find these kind of things online, because like I said, I'm really trying to maximize the paper from this Stampin' Up! Pack, which was the Gingerbread and Peppermint, and being able to go online and seeing some of these different examples is really great, so that I can plan before I cut. So I appreciate it. I'm going to list this as a Saturday morning make, even though it is Tuesday, because for me, this is my first really ability to do any kind of crafting since the new year started, and I'm really going to have fun this week, and I hope you enjoy all the cards I plan to be sharing. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it. I'm trying to get at least my 1,000 subscribers so I can start doing some live, some of this stuff live. Okay, hope you have a great night. Thank you very much. Good night.